Okay, boys and girls, let's start our tenses with the simple present tense. Please keep in mind, I want you to remember, we are going to study the English tenses just like native speakers, okay? We're not going to focus too much on grammar, for example, conjugation and that kind of things. We're going to learn first when, in which situations we use the simple present tense. Okay, so let's start. The first situation in which you would use the simple present tense would be, of course, when we talk about facts, things such as the laws of nature, truths, right? And so forth. Things that are permanent, that everybody knows that are always true, right? So let me give you a few examples. If I asked you, what color is the sky on a sunny day? You would most likely say, it is blue, of course. How would you conjugate verb to be? I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, they are. Correct? Okay. Another example of something that's always true and it's a well-known fact would be, if I ask you a question, does the Earth go around the sun? And you'd say, let me think. Well, if you paid attention in class, you would say, yes, it does. The Earth goes around the sun, and the moon goes around the Earth. Okay? So let's conjugate verb to do. I do, you do, she does, he does, it does, we do, they do. Correct? Okay. Another example would be math. How much is 2 plus 2? Let me think. Well, let me ask someone. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. Of course, you would say 2 plus 2 is 4, right? So that would be mathematics. And that's when you use the simple present. Okay? Okay. Another time when we use the simple present is when we talk about someone's habits, likes, dislikes, things that they repeat. So, example would be, if I asked you, what time do you usually wake up? You could say, on a school day, I usually wake up around 6 a.m., right? Okay, so let's conjugate wake up. I wake up, you wake up, he wakes up, she wakes up, it wakes up, maybe a baby or a pet, right? We wake up and they wake up, correct? Okay. And another example would be likes and dislikes. If I asked you, do you prefer coffee or tea? You'd say maybe, I prefer tea. Someone else would say, I prefer coffee, correct? So in this case, you express your likes, dislikes, preferences. So let's conjugate verb to prefer. I prefer, you prefer, he prefers, she prefers, it prefers, we prefer, and they prefer, correct? Okay. Now, and maybe one final example of the expressing habits and things we repeat and so forth would be, what days do you go to school? Okay, I go to school Monday through Friday. If you don't like school very much, you could say, I go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I don't feel like. I'll go on Thursday, and then maybe I'll go on Friday, maybe I'll play hooky, right? I don't know, I don't feel like. No, just kidding. Go to school, kids, okay? Definitely go to school. So, I go to school Monday through Friday, right? So let's conjugate. I go, you go, he goes, she goes, it goes, we go, they go. Correct? Okay. All right. Another situation when we use the simple present tense is actually um, future time. Yes, that's right. Future time. You can use the present simple tense to express the future time. When do we use it? Well, okay. Things such as schedule, itinerary, things we don't have control over, okay? Have you ever heard the question, what time does the class start? What time does the class start? And the answer could be, it starts in 20 minutes. We better hurry. It starts in 5 minutes. It starts. So this is a schedule. It's not your schedule. It's someone else's schedule. And you have no choice. You either abide by it or not. So let's conjugate start. I start. You start. She starts. He starts. It starts. We start and they start. Correct? Okay, so keep that in mind, okay? Now, also things like a trip. If you have a trip that's been scheduled by your parents, by your school, etc., you could say, when do you go on a trip, right? When do you go on a trip? And you could say, we leave tomorrow, okay? We leave tomorrow, okay? So this is a schedule, this is a plan. You can say we will leave, but the meaning is a little bit different. It's more of a prediction, not so much emphasis on the schedule. And that's the difference between, let's say, future simple using will and the simple present. The simple present, expressing the future, emphasizes the schedule. Okay? So I leave, you leave, he, she, it leaves. We leave and they leave. Okay? Good. Okay. And maybe the last example of the simple present tense expressing the future. What time does the train arrive? Right? Maybe someone would say, oh, it arrives in 10 minutes. Okay? It arrives in 10. It will be here in 10 minutes. But if you want to emphasize the schedule, you use it arrives in 10 minutes. Okay? So, I arrive, you arrive, he, she or it arrives, we arrive, and they arrive. Okay? Now, last main use of the simple present tense is actually telling a story from the past. That's right, story from the past. If I give you an example, I'm going to read it to you because it's a little bit, short story, so I need to read it for you. So pay attention. Yesterday I was in the cafeteria and this kid comes to me asking if he could talk to me about something. I say, okay, and then he sits down and starts saying all this nonsense, weird things about UFO. So finally I get up and say to him, hey, have a good day, bye-bye. See, I was telling you a story, but some verbs that were expressing the action I use in the present tense, just to make it more interesting, more vivid. Okay? Alright guys, this is the first lesson. If you want to know more, I want to plug in my book. I have a very good book on the website. It's called www.hiphopenglishgrammar.com. I will post it here. You can look into the book, see if you like it. There is way more information than I told you, and see if you enjoyed, okay? All right, hit me back with your comments.